Alrighty, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're gonna go over the standing dumbbell shoulder press. I'm gonna show you how to do it. I'm gonna show you common mistakes, how you can fix it, and make sure your form's good so you're working the right muscles, all right? Let's get into it. All right, so obviously we're gonna have our dumbbells. We're gonna pick them up. Before you worry yourself anything about the upper body, what is most important is the lower body, actually, the trunk and the lower body, I should say. When you're doing a standing dumbbell shoulder press, the first thing I want you to think about is bracing your core, right? If somebody's going to punch you as hard as you can in your core, think about bracing that core, bracing for that punch before you even get started. It doesn't mean suck in, that means brace. If someone's gonna punch you, you're almost gonna push your stomach out, right? Brace your core. That's number one. Number two, make sure your glutes are squeezed, okay? So in this position right now, before you even do anything with the dumbbells, core is tight and your butt squeezed. Both those things are happening, right? Think like two ropes are pulling both sides of your butt, right? So one rope pulling this way, one rope pulling this way, punching yourself in the stomach, right? So once both those things are happening, then you can then set up the shoulder press, right? So you start dumbbells up here, whether you go here, out wide, or in. We're gonna talk about it in a minute, but from there, slow on the way down, explode up, slow on the way down, right? Explode up, slow on the way down. Let's talk about why I talked about the core and the butt and the ropes, right? The number one thing I see people doing when they do overhead press is what I just showed you. When they go overhead, watch my low back. They arch. They come back down, they arch. They come back down. To prevent that, that's why you brace your core, squeeze both sides of your butt. Watch the difference. If you're not squeezing your butt, keeping your core tight, you're pressing, you're going up, you're pressing, you're going up, it's very easy. If you're nice and rigid, butt squeezed, core tight, your spine stays neutral. When people complain about having low back pain or even upper neck pain when they do overhead presses, what's normally happening is they're not keeping their butt squeezed and their core braced, so they're just arching their low back. That is gonna lead you to that hyperextension of your low back. So then when you go and do squats or deadlifts, you think that it's the squat or deadlift that's hurting your back. No, it's actually you going over your head all this whole time when you're doing shoulder press and you're not bracing your core, right? So again, butt squeeze, core tight, set up, and then from here, let's talk about elbow angles. You can go out wide, you can go 45, you can go here. The number one thing I'll say is the wider out you have your shoulders, the more open your shoulder joint is. And what that means is normally the more open your shoulder joint is, the more likely you are to some kind of pain, to some kind of injury. I don't really like going super out wide on shoulder presses just because it's not worth it long term, and it's risk versus reward, it's not worth it. I like going either 45-degree angle or even sometimes just doing a neutral grip press. So especially if you have shoulder pain, if you're doing overhead press and you have shoulder pain, bring it to 45-degree angle. If that still hurts, bring it to neutral. That way your shoulder joint is now closed. It's a closed joint, right? That way you can have more control over it and less range of motion, those bones moving around, right? So from there, I'll show you side and front. So butt squeeze, core tight. From there, explode up, slow on the way down. Explode up, slow on the way down, right? A couple things to also note. One of the other main mistakes I see is people, when they do a shoulder press, they just shrug their shoulders up, right? They're just shrugging their shoulders up and down. Try to think about keeping that shoulder down away from your ear more and using this shoulder to press it above your head. Don't think about shrugging your shoulder up. That usually happens when people either go too heavy or they're too tired. They just want to shrug it up. Just want to shrug it up. Keep your shoulders down. Think about bringing this part of your shoulder to your ear. Not by shrugging, but just think about this is where this is going, right? That will let you use the intended muscle during this exercise, okay? So front view, 45-degree angle, core's tight, slow on the way down. You see how I'm trying to almost bring this part of my shoulder towards my ears? That's what you want to think about, right? And then again, neutral grip. If you have shoulder issues, core is still tight, butt still squeeze, shoulder pressing, right? And more neutral grip, okay? So that right there is the biggest things I see. And the last thing is just too much momentum. People try to use too much momentum when they do the movement. If you're doing a push press, that's one thing. But if you're doing a shoulder press, keep your legs out of the movement. Keep that nice stable core of you squeezing your butt and bracing your abs to use your shoulders during the movement, okay? That's what this movement is for. So guys, I hope to help. If you have a question, if you want me to check your form, DM me, email me, reach out to me. I would love to help you guys. Thanks so much for watching. We'll talk soon.